Hi guys, this is an introduction to the VR components that I developed, which exposes a couple of functions for your own virtual reality projects either in Blueprint or C++ for the Unreal Engine 4. It's currently implemented as a plugin, so just going to the settings plugin here, you can see under virtual reality. So at the moment it's due for submission to the Unreal Engine marketplace. But you can go to the GitHub repo and download a copy of the source code. Just chuck in the plugins folder from that repo and to your own projects, and you're good to go. All right. So it's the implementation is the components are VR are pawn components. So we've got let's just do it from here. So VR. So you've got the VR grabber, VR movement, and VR teleporter. So the grabber components are attached to a motion controller. So you need two of them if you're going to be using two of the motion controllers, so left and right. And you've got the teleporter as well, and you've got the VR movement. So just quickly going through some of the common functions so you could see how easy it is. So it exposes, the grabber exposes a function grab and release and allows you to have a little bit of control over it. So if you don't want to modify any source code or go to C++ directly from Blueprint, I've tried to expose as much of the variables as possible. So here you could see that you could even set the location manually. At the moment, of course, since it's attached to the motion controller, it's gonna get the location and the rotation from there. Otherwise, you could also have you could also set it manually depending on the needs of your project. You can have a debug line show up, or you could just remove it. Yeah, and another neat thing is you can pull your grabbed object towards you, so also exposed via the VR grabber, and you can push them away as well. So once you've grabbed an object, you can push and pull them. Grabbed objects are identified by having a physics handle on them. So just if you have a static mesh, for example, like this cube here, just attach a physics handle and enable physics should be automatically ticked. But just make sure it's the physics is enabled, and then it can be grabbable basically by the VR grabber. So here also shows you on the demo project in the GitHub repo also shows you a sample of how you can enable the teleport mode. So here I'm using the shoulder button, which is the system button on your VIVE Motion Controller. So you could spawn a marker. The marker can either be a particle system, a static mesh. You can force the marker, like what I'm doing here, to be on the floor so that it doesn't float around in space. You can have a fixed rotation if you want. You can set the distance of the marker. Of course, you can also remove it. And movement of the marker is also available. So you have a move marker function from the teleporter. So you can move forward, right, back, left, and you can set the rate by which it moves. All right, and last but not least, you've got the VR movement. So this allows you free movement in VR space. So you could set the movement speed either to a positive or a negative value. So you can move forwards and backwards, and depending on a movement reference. So I'm using the motion controller here, meaning if you point your motion controller forward and then you press a button, so here it's the face button up, so you would move along with the motion controller. So yeah, but you can implement it of course any way you want in your own VR projects. Yeah, so that's just a quick intro of what's available with the VR components, and hopefully we'll be expanding it to a lot more functions. And so please feel free to comment and give me your suggestions or feedback, or directly contribute to the source code as well. That's very much welcome. Yeah, thanks guys.